Hey everybody, Luscious Johnny Lang, Gentleman Jim Mills, Fantastic J's, down here at Fantastic J Studios. If you haven't noticed, we're dressed for the top 10 this tonight.
Dressed to impress.
Dressed to impress. Woo! Except for no woos.
Let me tell you something, brother.
None of those tonight.
No, not tonight. No.
So what we're doing here down in the studio, me and our boy GJ are about to unleash our next top 10. But GJ,
Yeah, John.
I'm feeling a little chilly down here.
It's cold.
We got something on. So GJ, before we get started here, what do we like to do?
We like to thank our sponsors. Johnny, give me one of them.
You know that place. The place that you can get anything that you ever need and more. Talking about jewelry, talking about tools, talking about anything.
Lawnmower.
Okay. You know who you are.
That's right.
Lawnmower. Anyway, that's my boy GJ's place. And that's Starlight Cone and Pond, Edgewood, Maryland, Starlight Plaza. GJ.
Yeah.
What else?
Jock City, down here in the great state of Dundalk.
Hey, you know, it's kind of funny how John has been really taking care of us. But before Jock City was on our lips, it was still on our body. He did these for us for Halloween a couple of years ago. So, by the way, yeah, that's why we got. So, but anyway, we got one
more.
Oh, Robbie's Bar and Grill, and that's right down there, Edgemere, Maryland. The first place that the Jays got down and dirty, baby. Woo hoo hoo! Oh, yeah. All right.
Hamburger.
In a second. Okay, so GJ.
Yeah, John.
All the business and some fun aside, but not over.
Not over yet.
What are we doing this week for the top 10?
Top 10 worst wrestling gimmicks.
Now, that's not us. Say, now, if it were we're not no honorable mention on the side. No, if it were the top 10 best wrestling gimmicks, we might be an honorable mention in that group. But no, this is not that.
No, not that.
And I'm excited.
It's some weird stuff,
I better be seeing everything I like to see right here.
We'll see it.
Here we go.
All right, starting out at number 10, Zeus Lister Jr., born June 24th, 1958, age of 61. Lister made a jump from Hollywood actor to WWE superstar in 1989. He co-starred in the movie with Hulk Hogan, No Holds Barred.
I remember that movie.
It was a horrible movie. It didn't last long. He only lasted a few months in the WWE, but then it was known as the WWF.
I remember that.
And he never won a match.
Now, you know why he never won a match? Because the sumbitch was cross-eyed.
Johnny!
I don't care how big you are. You can't. How are you supposed to pin somebody? It's like let's just say we're out at a. God bless you, by the way. We're only having fun. Let's say we're out at a bar with Zeus.
Anyway, moving on. No Host Barred actually did pretty well in the movie theater.
It did. I mean, that's when the wrestling was becoming the wrestling that
mainstream
we knew it was, and not just the territories. It was like.
It went nationwide. It blew up.
Some of them gimmicks in the 80s.
It was horrible.
It was horrible.
All right, moving on to number 9.
Oh.
This one is absolutely... let me tell you something.
This is a tough one to take.
Somebody would have got an ass whooping if I ran into him for doing this.
This is a tough
Number 9, Oklahoma.
Right.
Eddie Farrah. He was born November 22nd, 1966. He's 53.
Right.
Oklahoma was one of the tasteless gimmicks of all in professional wrestling. It was a brainchild of Vince Russo and Eddie.
They were pissed off because
they got kicked out of the WWF or WWE.
WWF
then. And they jumped ship to WCW. And it was a parody character based on the legend himself.
The legend, baby.
WWE commentator, and probably, I would argue, the greatest commentator of all, next to Gorilla Monsoon, Jim Ross. And
they made fun of his
Bell's palsy.
I get it if you want to make fun, but come on, man.
Vince, you deserve an ass whipping for that.
There's a couple on this list that
they were not that. They were tasteless.
Very tasteless.
But they did not do that.
No. This is a guy that when you think of professional wrestling, when you think of commentators,
you think of Jim Ross.
Damn right you do.
Yes, you do.
But
Jim
anyway,
Ross.
hey, we love you. We love
Hey,
you.
Even Vince McMahon was a pretty good wrestling commentator.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was.
I remember that. He was like that. That's when
Him
he
and
was
Gorilla.
really starting to get good. Oh man, poor Gorilla Monsoon.
One of my favorite.
God, he was the greatest.
Yes, he was. All right, moving on to number 8, the Yeti. Ronald Reese, born November 18th, 1969. My year's 50. The Abomination was a gimmick. Only used a few times before being forced out of back in the history books. Debuting in a block of ice, November 23rd, 1955. The Yeti was
1955.
I'm sorry, 1995. The Yeti was actually a mummy.
You are old.
Executing a poorly finishing move known as the bear hug.
So basically, this guy who. No, wait a minute. A Yeti is like a Bigfoot in
the snow.
Yeah. So how did they?
It was horrible.
How did they get
a bear hug? A mummy?
No, yeah,
a mummy?
Come here. Sorry. Hey, now listen. How do you get a mummy out of a Yeti? And it came out of a block of ice. Okay, people, just imagine. Everybody's like they got him built up into a fever, frothing at the mouth, and here come this so-called.
I remember when he came out, it was horrible.
Yeah, I mean, where's the Yeti?
It was horrible.
And then next Dracula coming out, and the Wolfman.
Ooh, all right. Anyway, moving on to number 7.
They had vampires in wrestling, so you know.
Yes, they did.
All right, good.
Number 7, Isaac Yankum, Glenn Thomas Jacobs. Born April 26, 1967. He's 52. But do you know who he currently is?
Yeah,
Kane. Well, he's now a mayor in, I think, Kentucky or Tennessee.
Yeah, somewhere.
All right. DDS was Jerry Lawler's dentist. His entrance music kicked off with a sound of a drill. Yankum gimmick was quickly dropped. Jacobs spent a short time as the Imposter Diesel.
So you're Kane. Now, he's a bigger star
now as
Diesel.
Kane than as the Imposter Diesel
or Diesel himself. So,
and he's
funny?
one
Imposter Diesel. I saw that. I was sitting there doing the research, and I'm like, this has got. I mean,
that's when they went back. That's because of the JR thing. I definitely would believe that.
Absolutely, yeah. So that was a return
retaliation
from Oklahoma.
Right, exactly.
They could have did better than that.
They could have.
God,
but
if
you watch it, if you watch the videos go on and watch him play the fake Diesel, it was kind of a good jab at him.
Yeah, I would have did something, a video about one of them wrestlers' mom.
But Kane won multiple WWE championships.
Most of them.
Heavyweight championship. 12-time tag team championship.
That's amazing.
ECW champion.
And here this guy started out
as a dentist.
Now, I mean, when you see the picture of this, of Kane, and of course now he's a politician and apparently doing very well at it, it's just hilarious. I hope you guys enjoy it because I know that I do.
Moving on, number 6, the Manotaur.
Oh my God.
Mike Halick May. Mike Halick, born May 14th, 1968. He's 51. Debuted at the Manotaur in 1995. Again, all this stuff happened in 1995. He had these really big horns.
He had a big ass Manotaur mask on, and that's how he had to wrestle.
He headbutted people, mauled, and even
moo. I'm sure he was doing a lot of
the gimmick was quickly discarded for obvious reasons, folks.
What's the obvious reason? A 50-pound mask for a wrestler. Listen, I mean, we just said how some of the gimmicks were just out of hand and over the top. This is one of the ones that, and luckily, did not last very long.
No,
and probably because it almost killed the wrestling.
Yeah, that was a big.
And I don't know how he did his moves. He
big
didn't
mask.
do.
Hopefully, you'll see it here.
Yeah, you better. Better see it.
Gotcha, my man. All right, moving on to number 5. The Arachnoman. Robert Bradley James, born June 15th, 1962. He died in 2012 at the age of 50, a.k.a. Brad Armstrong.
Died of a heart attack.
Look, basically he was Spider-Man who changed the wrestling colors.
Brad Armstrong, a lot better shape than Spider-Man.
Back then. Brad Armstrong wasn't that bad of a wrestler either.
No, he wasn't. He was a
very good wrestler. The gimmick worked so well that Marvel sued WCW, and they had to drop the gimmick.
So that's why that only lasted like a week and a half.
Probably 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
I think he made it perform a couple times.
It was the work. Now, like you said, one of the probably wrestling greats. You know what I mean? But one of the worst gimmicks, worst costume.
Horrible gimmick.
It looked like the damn costume from Electric Company. They had Spider-Man on back in the mid-'70s, except for no Spider-Man colors.
No. Moving on to number 4.
Oh God.
The fat chick thriller, that 70s man himself, Mike Lee Alfonso, which we all know as Mike Awesome. Born in 1965, unfortunately died in 2007 at the age of 42. He had become obsessed with the big women, with the overweight women, calling himself the fat chick thriller. And then eventually he transformed in that frame to that 70s guy because of that 70s show was very popular at the time. So, being with all gimmicks is popular.
He was going through a time there with some weird gimmicks.
You know, they should have left him as Mike Awesome.
What better
He
gimmick?
was a great wrestler. I like Mike Awesome.
What better gimmick
than Mike Awesome?
Because that's I mean, it's like us. I mean,
like
fantastic.
He also, like us, hosted an interview segment called the Lava Lamp Lounge. I apologize. That was quickly ended when WWE bought WCW.
Yeah, and then a lot of the other gimmicks that were really retarded.
That stopped.
And then that ended. Hey, that Lava Lamp Lounge, that's like how many seashells did Sally sell by the seashore? Lava Lamp Lounge.
They need to bring back the luchadors, though. I'd really like the luchadors in WCW. They wrestled, and it was good.
They put it all on the line.
Yes, they did. Yeah. And we'll have to do some a New World Japan. Best wrestlers in New World Japan. That's a very good for most people who don't only know WWE, WCW. Watch NJP.
Yeah, them guys.
Those guys are phenomenal. Moving on now to number 3.
Here's one more.
Okay, this is another one that's a little bit
bad taste.
Bad taste. Number 3, Eugene. Nicholas David Dinsmore, born December 17th, 1975. He's 44. Eugene made his WWE debut in 2004 as a special needs nephew of Raw General Manager Eric Bischoff. The whole gimmick was shocking because it was somebody with a mental health disorder. But what is little known that Nick actually holds a record. Where, John?
Ohio State Valley Wrestling Association. And what is he? He has the most reigns and the longest combined reigns of a wrestler in that association of all time.
As himself.
That's right. By the way, not as Eugene. And I tell you, what poor taste.
That was look. I like Eugene. I thought he was a great wrestler.
A great wrestler.
But I didn't like the gimmick.
No, yeah.
Right. And moving on to number 2.
No, wait, time a second. You have to do it as a rhyme.
How do I do this? You do this then.
You said, well, it is. It's easy. You say, right. Moving on to number 2 is who? And guess who was?
James the Anvil Neidhart became the wrestler who? Anvil Neidhart was born in 1955. Unfortunately, died in 2018 at the age of 63.
Way too soon.
Way too soon. The only thing that interesting is this: he had a mask on. Other than that, it was
Jim the Anvil
Neidhart. But the only reason, tell me why they had this gimmick.
Well, that's Jerry the King Lawler gave him some jokes to crack. Let's see
who's in the ring.
That's right. Who won the match?
Who's there?
Right. So that's awful.
It's horrible.
Yeah, but that was a horrible gimmick, and it didn't last very long. Lasted a couple months or
2
so?
months, 3 months, I think they say.
And
But
Jim the Anvil Neidhart, man, he was a great wrestler, great talent,
phenomenal talent.
And that was-
Tag team champion.
Oh, man.
Intercontinental champion.
Oh man,
Fantastic.
Bret the Hitman Hart, Jim the
Anvil
Anvil,
Neidhart, the
Just like
Hart
us.
Foundation.
just like us, the Fantastic
You
Jays.
got it. Johnny, go ahead and do the honorable mentions.
Okay, honorable mention. Okay, number 1, Fantasia. That's Harry Del Rio.
Fantasimo.
Fantasio.
Fantasio?
Yeah,
Sure it's not that Fantasimo?
yeah.
Ever going to tease him out? All right, moving on.
And
Harry Del Rios?
well, you see it right there. Yeah, he was born September 17th, 1972. He's right around our age. You're scared to get in the ring. He only made one appearance.
He's not in the ring no more.
Whatever. WWE, he only made one appearance. And here's the thing. This was just this guy. He was dressed. He's supposed to be a magician. He's dressed all in black. He's got this mask on his face. And when he comes in the ring,
No, yeah, I remember
he
this.
takes this mask off, and he has another painted mask on.
Identical mask.
That's just the
is
same
painted on.
as the mask. And what was his trick, GJ?
He used to pull people's underwear out of their pants.
And whose was the last underwear that he removed before we never saw this awful, awful gimmick?
Was it
again?
Earl Hebner?
Earl Hebner.
Earl Hebner, he pulled his
Famous
boxers.
referee for of wrestling.
Everybody
and,
knows.
it
You
was-
should know Earl Hebner if you're.
And it was simply awful. One of the ones that most of you probably didn't even. If you pulled underwear out. Damn it! Why didn't we think of that?
I don't know. We should have did that gimmick.
Now, this next one is
It's
in wrestling, especially in our time and before. There was a lot of racially questionable
this was one of them.
gimmicks, and this is one of them. And this is Saba Simba. Now, Anthony White. He was born 1954, 65. He's 65 years old. We all know who he is, and that's Tony Atlas. He and Rocky Johnson, first black tag team champions
of the world.
So here's
The Rock's father, Rocky Johnson.
now here he is. He gets a call from Vince McMahon, and he wants him to be.
Now, at this time, he was homeless
he was homeless.
and sleeping on a park bench.
He was
When he got the phone call, and McMahon,
as horrible as this gimmick is. He credited this for saving his life.
Correct.
Because he was homeless.
a Ugandan tribe warrior,
Yep.
he had the big headdress,
Mhm.
the spear, and the shield. Came out to African dance
And
music.
doing all this stuff, and you know Tony Atlas, he's ripped.
He's a beast.
Yeah, to me, I mean McMahon made the call, but mostly it wasn't a very popular move.
It was not. It was, I think, bad. And he only had appeared on one pay-per-view
One pay-per-view
before changing back to Tony Atlas.
terrible and racist gimmick.
It was terrible.
But as far as Tony Atlas is concerned, I'm glad that he got that cake, so he's not sleeping on a damn park bench anymore.
That's right. And, Tony, we love you, Tony.
We do, man. I tell you. Oh God, maybe he can. When we do our wrestling fundraiser, we can get Tony Atlas to come and wrestle. He's 65, but he's still wrestling, bro.
All right, moving on.
And you're taking some.
I'm not taking no bump, Johnny. He wants us to take a bump. All right, moving on. Number 1, Oz. And this guy was Kevin Nash, none other.
He looked like Oz. He looked like this big Wizard of Oz.
tall Wizard of Oz. Born July 9th, 1959. He's 60 years old.
Damn, I can't believe it.
Right, and before Kevin Nash,
He was the real Diesel, not the fake Diesel.
right, he was the real Diesel, and he was Vinny Vegas,
It
and
seems
then
like-
he was Oz.
Exactly. It seems like this. It seems like Kevin Nash is much more of a dick than the fake Diesel. Fake Diesel. Kane seems like he's just like this nice guy. That Glenn Jacobs. He seems like he runs for office. He's become mayor, trying to better his own city,
His community.
It just seems like, and every time I've seen Kevin Nash, he just seems like kind of a dick.
Well, he was just in John Wick, by the way.
Dick.
I like John Wick. All right, he was managed by Merlin the Wizard. Kevin as Ozzy dressed in a green robe, and it was based on the book The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Luckily, the gimmick didn't last long, John.
I'm glad of that. And I mean, he gets out from under that robe, which it was a terrible gimmick.
And
then what?
Six-time world champion.
6-time
Tag team champion.
Right.
A member of the NWO, the New World Order.
That's right.
The New World Order.
I mean, he had a great career. He's not still wrestling though. Is he retired?
Or
is he just doing some?
You might see him on the circuit. He might be signing.
Seems like he's in pretty good shape still.
He'd probably get in, take a little bit of a bump. That'd be about it.
Like myself.
All right. Hey, we would like to thank everybody. We're coming to the end here, John.
Okay, I apologize. So, GJ,
Yeah,
that was fun.
it was.
I didn't get the body slam you like I wanted to.
And you're not going to.
Come on, one quick one.
No.
You know, hey, everybody, you know what my favorite wrestling move that I know takes down? It's the titty twister. Okay, GJ, enough fun with the titties. So, GJ.
Yeah.
What do we want our family out here in YouTube land? So, I apologize, people. We only do so many wrestling ones now.
Ham hock. All right. We want you to subscribe to the channel.
Subscribe. That means right now, get over there and hit that subscribe. GJ, what else?
We also want you to love it or hate it. Johnny?
That means that we're going to know right then whether you like what's going on or not. Not only that, we want you to share it and we want you to comment on it.
Let Ham Hock know.
Let us know what you think about whatever the hell we're doing here down in the Fantastic J Studios. GJ.
Don't forget to hit that bell because
Right.
when you hear a ding, Johnny, what do you got to do?
That means you got to get over there.
Because we just dropped new content.
Actually, get over there for us. And that means get on that computer, get on that phone, iPad, whatever you got to do to get to the Fantastic J's and check out what we got. So, GJ.
We're coming to the end.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Folks, thank you very much.
You guys.
We do appreciate you for watching. And GJ,
Yeah.
what do the Fantastic J's love to say?
Have a fantastic J kind of day. See y'all.